Okay, so let's start about the formal definition of proposition. A proposition is a declarative sentence, that is a sentence which is either true or false but not both. So the important thing is that the sentence which is declaring some fact and we are sure about the truth value of that sentence, that is it is either true or false and there is no ambiguity that it may be either true or false sometime. So such kind of sentences are called propositions. For example, these are some examples of propositions. Islamabad is the capital of Pakistan. So this is a statement, this is a proposition or statement. Another name of proposition is a statement. So this is a true statement. Similarly, self-medication without supervision is dangerous. This is another statement which is also a true statement. So all of these statements are declaring some fact. For example, 36 is divisible by 6. This is also a true statement. And the sun is shining. So the sun is shining is true right now, but it may be false in the evening or at night. But whatever the discourse of time when we discuss the problem, in that particular time the truth value of this statement or this proposition is well defined. So all the declarative sentence with a truth value are called propositions, and propositions are also called statements. Now consider these type of sentences in English. For example, where is the car? So this sentence is not declaring any fact, and in fact this is a question. Similarly, let's go for picnic this weekend. So this is also not declaring any fact, and this is a proposal. I suggest you to work hard. This is a suggestion or advice. Keep your mobile on silent mode. This is an order. Fantastic. This is an exclamation. So this is an expression of feeling, but it is not declaring any fact. So all of these sentences are not propositions. Now since we define the proposition, let's see how they are representing. So the representation of the propositions are with the help of these small variables PQRS. And the truth value of the proposition, whenever it is true, we write capital T, and whenever it is false, we write capital F. So we need to tell here the truth value. Istanbul is a capital of Turkey. This is a false statement. 15 is an even number. This is a false statement. Karachi is the smallest city of Pakistan. This is another false statement. 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. This is true statement. And 2 plus 2 is equals to 3. It is a false statement. It is Wednesday today. This is also a false statement since it is Monday today. So whenever there is whenever there is a Wednesday, then this statement becomes true. But again, this need to be explicitly mentioned that whenever we are considering or solving any problem, the time or the discourse of the problem is clear. So we need to take the truth value of the proposition in the due discourse of the problem. So now since we have propositions or we define the propositional variable, we are going to develop an algebra over these propositions. So the same algebra like we used to do with our real numbers. So here the numbers are the propositions PQR, and now we are going to define some operations to combine these propositions to make compound propositions. So the operations which we define are called logical operators or connectives, and through logical operators and connectives we combine two or more propositions to make a compound proposition. So first of all, the operator which is defined is called negation. So suppose P is a proposition, then negation of P is denoted by this symbol, and it is the statement, it is not the case that P. So we read this symbol as not P. So the truth value of the negation of P is true if the P is false, and if it is false then the negation would be true. So for example, it's raining outside and it is not raining outside. So the P is a statement is raining outside, the negation P would be it is not raining outside. I feel cold, the negation of Q is I don't feel cold. Cats are furry, cats are not furry. Elephants are heavy, or elephants are not heavy. And sometimes when it is very clear about the opposite word, we can also use sometimes I feel hot or warm. But it is appreciated if we apply the negation or we identify the negation or not as an operator in the statement, because conventionally we take the positive sense of a sentence as a statement, and whenever there is a negation in the statement of not, does not, do not, then we apply the operator. So I don't feel cold. In this statement we have a clear negation operator, but if it is written I feel hot or warm, then it is not very clear that it is a negation of some statement unless we are given Q. So when we know that Q is a statement I feel cold, then we are sure that I feel hot is the negation of Q. So the context in propositional logic must be very clear. So this is the definition of the truth table, because whenever we define some compound proposition, we define it with the help of truth table. So the truth value of negation P is false when P is true, and it is true when P is false. Now another compound proposition is made with the help of this operator which is called conjunction, and we also called it AND. So let P and Q be two propositions. The conjunction of P and Q, it is denoted by P hat Q or P conjunction Q, and it is the proposition P and Q, and it is true when both P and Q are true, and it is false otherwise. So we can define it with the help of truth table, that it is true only when both P and Q are true, and in all the three other places when either P is true, Q is false, or P is false, Q is true, or both are false, it remains false. So the examples are, if we have two propositions, the sun is shining and I feel happy, and if we want to take the conjunction of these two statements, then we can say that the sun is shining and I feel happy. Similarly, cats are furry and elephants are heavy. Another operator is called the disjunction, and we also call this OR. So again, let's see the definition. If P and Q are two propositions, then disjunction of P is denoted and Q is denoted by P or Q. And it is false when both P and Q are false, and it is true otherwise. So we can see with the help of truth table, the definition is very clear that this remains true when either of P or Q is true, that is either one of them is true or both of them is true, then this P or Q remains true. Otherwise, when both of them are false, then this P or Q becomes false only. So it is false at only one place when both of them are false, otherwise it remains true. So the sun is shining, I feel happy. If we combine or join them by OR, then we can say that P or Q, the sun is shining or I feel happy. Cats are furry or elephants are heavy. Now these are three basic operators, that is negation, conjunction and disjunction. Now another operator which is most commonly used is called exclusive OR, and we say it XOR in short. And this is not a basic operator, but it can be made with the help of negation and an OR. But we are defining here is explicitly here, and we will see how it can be made with the help of the other three basic operators later on. So let P and Q be the proposition, the exclusive OR of P and Q, and it is represented by this symbol, this plus symbol, and it is also represented by XOR, and it is a proposition where P or Q but not both, that is it remains true when P is true and Q is false, and it is also remains true when P is false and Q is true, but whenever both of them are false and both of them are true, then it remains false. So if we see the truth table, then we can see that whenever both of them are true or both of them are false, then then P exclusive or Q is false. Otherwise, when one of them is true, then it remains true. So in real life, we sometimes need to apply some condition whether we means or means the exclusive OR, that is you are given choice with two things and you have to pick one of them. So whenever you pick both of them, then the condition becomes false. For example, if there are two lists and you have to choose the project from list A or list B, then you will select the project from list A or list B, and you cannot select the project from both of the lists. Similarly, if you are offered with tea or coffee, then you have to either take tea or coffee, but you cannot take both of them. So in such examples or in such situations, we need to apply exclusive OR instead of simple OR, because in simple OR we are also allowed both of them to be true. Now some other translations. P but Q means P and Q. Similarly, neither P nor Q means negation P and negation Q. So now we are studying these because we are going to make forward to do some translations from natural language to the symbolic language. So whenever we are translating but, we translate it with and neither nor is translated as and with the negation. So if H is the proposition, Ali opted calculus, and W is the proposition, Ali opted discrete mathematics, then Ali didn't opt calculus but he opted discrete mathematics. Here but is represented by and, this is negation of H, and this is W. So this is the translation, negation H and W. Similarly, Ali neither opted calculus nor discrete mathematics is translated as negation P and negation Q. So neither nor is translated as negation P and negation Q. So here, sorry, we cannot say P and Q. Here is negation H and negation W. Now suppose we have some interval x is less than or equal to a. So whenever you have heard or you have studied in calculus x is less than or equal to a, so here or is the logical or. So it means that either x is equals to a or x is less than a. Similarly, x is less than or equal to x and x is less than or equal to b means that and is the logical and. Now suppose we are having three propositional variables p, q, r, which symbolizes 5 is less than x. So p symbolizes 5 is less than x, and q symbolizes x is less than 9, and R symbolizes ठीक है, P is less than 5 is less than X, Q is X is less than I, and R is X is equals to 9. So X is less than or equal to 9 means X is less than 9 or X is equals to 9. So we can write it as Q or R. Similarly, 5 is less than X is less than 9 means 5 is less than X is P and X is less than 9 is Q. Now 5 is less than X and X is less than or equal to 9 means 5 is less than X is P and X is less than 9 is Q, or X is equal to 9 is R. So this is translated as P and Q or R. Now how do we construct with truth table? So if we have a compound propositions with 3 variables, then first of all we write the basic input variables. So in this statement we have A, B and C are the basic variables. Now in all of the columns we combine 2 propositions at a time. For example, here we are given A and B. So in one of the column we calculate A and B, then we calculate negation of C, and finally we join A and B and negation of C with the help of this disjunction. So this is how we make a truth table. So whenever we have a compound proposition with 2 variables, then we have 4 rows in the truth table. So here we have 3 basic variables, input variables A, B and C. So there are 8 rows. So whenever there is n variables and there are n to the power n possibilities of the rows. So these are the rows. You can see here all of 8 options, like we do in the counting problems, that all of them are true, one of them is true, one of them is false, and all of them are false. So these are all the 8 options. So we are better careful that we do not repeat any of the options again and again, and we write all the options to construct the truth table correctly. So now A and B. A and B we have to take AND of the first 2 columns. So true and true is true. Similarly, true and true is true here again. True and false is false. False and true is false. And all of these are false now. Now negation of C. For negation of C we take the negation of this column. So this is the column C and we take the negation. If it is true then it is false. If it is false then it is true. So after calculating A and B negation of C, we have to take OR of these 2 columns. So by using the disjunction definition, T or F is T, T or T is T, and F or F is F. So we can see here that T or F is T, T or T is T, F or F is F, and so on. So this is called the truth table of the compound proposition. So another description of exclusive OR. So another description of exclusive OR is P or Q and not P and Q, as we have mentioned earlier. P or Q but not P and Q. So if we see the truth table, then we have P, Q are 2 basic variables or input variables. So the truth table has 4 rows. We construct the truth table of this compound proposition, for which we have to calculate P or Q. Then we have to calculate P and Q. Then we have to take the negation of P and Q. And after that we have to combine these 2 columns with the help of conjunction. So we can see that after doing this we get the output false, true, true and false. And if we see the table of exclusive OR, then exclusive OR is also the same. For exclusive OR we mean it is true when only one of them is true. So it is also true at this place and it is false on these two places when both of them is true and when both of them are false. So we can see that this statement output values are coincide with the output value of P exclusive OR. So therefore we can say that these two are equivalent statements. So another expression of P exclusive OR Q is equivalent to P or Q and not P and Q.